My name is Tom Chapman. I am the Deputy Head of School for Education in the Business School here at Southampton, and I'm also the Director of Programmes for all the postgraduate talk programmes that we operate. So my job is to ensure that all our programmes for all our students meet certain quality control mechanisms and are fit for purpose in terms of the education that we deliver across the year.
Could you please introduce the main advantages of the features of the school?
In terms of advantages or in terms of features of the school, one of the things that we try very hard to achieve is in terms of our accreditation. So we are AMBER accredited. We're a member of the Association of Business Degrees, and as part of our AMBER accreditation we have an MBA that requires certain mechanisms in place to ensure that it's of the top quality, so students get the best experience they can, and as part of that we have dedicated space and teams teaching on our MBA. In addition to that, we have secured more recently AACSB accreditation, which is an international accreditation for the quality of our programs across the board, and we're very proud to have that. And at the moment we're also working towards our EQUIS accreditation, which is a quality accreditation, international accreditation, which will mean when we get that we will be triple crowned, have a triple accreditation in terms of the quality of our programs. So in terms of the way we teach, we are a research-led institution. We're part of the Russell Group, and as such we try to ensure that the latest research is brought in to the classroom in the way in which we deliver our education. So I'm very much looking forward this year to the opening of a new building, the Centenary building, which is near where we're sitting now, which will provide some new teaching space and some top quality technological teaching space for our students coming in 2019, in the next 6 months' time. So it's very much about the quality of what we deliver. It's very much about being approachable, very much about being research-led and research-focused, so that the students get the most up-to-date information that can assist them with their studies.
Could you please introduce the courses and the situation of international students employment in your school now?
Yes, of course. At an undergraduate level, we are primarily what I would describe as home EU students. Most of the students at an undergraduate level are from the United Kingdom and from the European Union, and we have a small cohort of international students on the undergraduate programme. And in terms of undergraduate student numbers, we take approximately 200 to 300 undergraduates into our undergraduate programme across 3 or 4 courses. So in terms of our undergraduate programme, we take about 200 to 300 students into our programme across about 4 courses in business management, accounting and finance and marketing. At a postgraduate level, this year we've seen a significant increase in interest in our programmes. We operate about 22 programmes at a postgraduate level with an MBA, programmes in accounting and finance and marketing. We specialise particularly in our business analytics and management and business analytics and finance programmes, and we cover areas such as project management, supply chain and logistics, as well as risk management. So a broad range of programmes across the main spheres of business, as well as other areas such as entrepreneurship, which are up and coming. And in terms of student numbers, our courses range, probably our smallest course or smallest cohort is probably Knowledge and Information Systems Management, where we get about 20 students each year coming through that programme, through to our largest programmes are probably in Accounting and Finance, Finance and Marketing, where we would be looking at anywhere between 150 and 200 students on those programmes. And those programmes then share staff across 5 or 6 departments within the business school, and we deliver across a 12-month calendar starting in October. We run through to our Christmas period in December, and then we teach again through from February through till about May time with some break for holidays and things. And then the last section of the programme for students is their dissertation, which is a third of the programme, where they get to do a project on pretty much anything they like, which can be very much a research-focused project or a practical project that a company might be interested in, that is their way of demonstrating the knowledge they've learnt to us in the preceding modules of study. So it's a 12-month program which finalises with their large project they submit in September.
As you know, what is the most common problem for Chinese students during their studies? And could you please offer some suggestions with regard to this problem?
Common problems. I would think one of the things that I have to deal with if I'm in the classroom, so if I'm going to turn that question around a bit and say how I try to deal with the things that I see. One of the things I think that students have to learn to deal with is a Western, if you like, if that's okay to say, but a Western approach to the way we deliver education. So I'm quite an outward-going type of lecturer. I like to teach my students in a very informal way, actually. So I might be at the front of the room, but my job is to get you as a student to voice your opinions. It's a very different way of delivering education. So it's not about me purely telling you the facts and you learning the facts. I'm interested in you forming an argument. So I need you to take away the theories and the solutions that we provide in the classroom and apply those theories and solutions to possibly a case study on a company. That company may be a company in this country, it may be a company but based in another country such as China. But the way you form that argument is very different to just learning facts or learning to regurgitate or tell me what I want to hear. So sometimes in class I deliberately say things to get the students thinking, to say, hang on, no, you don't agree with that, it's okay, I want you to come back at me with a structure of what you would do, how you would have done it. And then what we can do is then see what would the students have done compared to what the company actually did with the problem that they had. So it's about case-driven education. It's very much about working in teams. It's very much about being able to speak openly in class. And sometimes students do find that difficult. You're coming a large distance to a country you may be unfamiliar with, to a town you may be unfamiliar with. So everything's a bit weird. So you're having to find accommodation, you're having to experience different types of food, different weather, different social, different interactions with shopping and all the other things that we offer in the sport. And then at the same time, I'm asking you in class to ask me questions, to be noisy, to use your devices. And that sometimes I think they find it difficult. They find it hard to ask questions in front of 200 or 300 other people, because we can have big rooms, we can teach in large spaces as well as smaller spaces that we're in today. So it's about being open, and it's about being willing to contribute to class as opposed to just sitting there and me telling you things, because nobody wants to hear that, that's too much.
Could you please introduce the job orientation and the career prospects of the relevant courses in your school and the development of the graduates in general?
Yes, of course. We operate a number of different programs. So in our marketing program, for example, I have seen students that I have taught, when they graduate, at an undergraduate level, that we have a dedicated office, which is next to my office, ironically. But just down the corridor near my office, we have dedicated people who are there to assist students with finding placements and work opportunities as part of their program. So I have seen students work at companies such as Disney, work at more local British companies such as Marks and Spencer's and others. So they go and work in the retail trade, or they go and work in marketing, in the media, or in the games industry, which is quite big in this country. On finance and other sides, on more sort of postgraduate programs, we find that one of the best ways to integrate or find job opportunities through our business analytics and management and business analytics and finance programs is through what we call the summer project. So as part of the summer project, rather than do a traditional research-based theoretical dissertation or thesis, students, with the assistance of our officers in the business analytics area, they do a project for a company. So we have companies such as Ford, large manufacturing companies, will come into the university. They will have a problem. They will tell everybody what the problem is, we need a fix for something, and then they will interview the students. It is a competitive process. The students say, I want to do that project, and then the client interviews the students and decides who they're going to take on, and that student will then work for 3 months, maybe 4, working on that summer project for that client, sometimes in their offices, sometimes in the institution, and they have a tutor to assist them. But they are producing a real piece of work for a real company, solving a real problem. And that is a skill set that is well worth having when you then want to apply for jobs afterwards, because you have experience on your CV of doing real world stuff. And it's very competitive, and it drives not only student numbers on the program, but our industry engagement. We also have something called an executive learning partnership, which is run by our Director of Enterprise and Executive Education, where we build links with local companies within Southampton. So within a short distance of where we're sitting today, we have companies like the Ordnance Survey, which traditionally has been a mapping type organisation. We work with Carnival, cruising industry. We work with, there's IBM locally. There's numerous companies within a very short distance of here, such as companies such as JP Morgan, for example, that are based in about 20 miles away. So we try to interact as much as we can with organisations, getting them to do guest lectures, getting them to work with students on projects, so that there's an opportunity to meet potential employers in an informal environment, so that students can relax and be themselves. And I find personally that when students get to meet companies in a less formal environment, they become more employable because they relax. When they get an interview, they get nervous and they don't know what to do and how to behave, and so we try to get around that through other ways as well.